Hello to all of our family burrito listeners out there whose father thought it was hilarious to give you alcohol when you were 3 years old because you would do flips over and over in your playpen. Welcome back to the Family Burrito, episode 54. My name is Christine. My sister Jessie and I created this podcast as a way to heal our messed up, giving us alcohol at only 3 years old father wounds. Jessie,
What's up?
how are you?
I'm good. Living the dream.
Are you?
Yeah. Well, watch. I was before we started recording. I was catching up on some TV that I have not been able to watch because
Mm-hmm.
life.
Yeah.
But there's this one show I watch on Netflix called My Unorthodox Life. Have you
Uh-huh.
heard of it?
Mm-mm.
It's about this lady. She was a part of a Orthodox Jewish community,
Mm-hmm.
a town called Muncie, and she like escaped, quote unquote. Those are her words. But any religion is a cult,
Mm-hmm.
super cult.
Yeah.
And like yeah, so but she escaped from it, and then now she has a TV show on Netflix. But her drama is fun. But I like to watch all their cute outfits because I don't know how to dress. I'm like, okay, blue jeans and shirt, blue jeans and shirt. That's
Are you talking
like,
about Orthodox Jews, the way they dress?
yeah, yeah.
What?
Well, they like she dresses really nice, like, but obviously when she was an Orthodox Jew, she like could only wear, she had to cover everything up and
Oh,
everything like
I
that.
see.
But now she is fabulous. She just dresses to the nines, and I'm very jealous. I'm like,
Yeah.
I just
Well,
look like a little boy over here.
a little boy with big titties.
Yeah, a little bit, but that's weird.
Big titties and big booty.
Yeah,
Ain't nothing
but
little about this boy.
I dress like a little boy. I should say
You're
that.
funny. You're so funny. Yeah. So we actually tried to record last week, but I was having Wi-Fi issues. And so we just like, let's scratch that episode. Let's try episode 54 again because I was trying to review it, view it, whatever, both review and view. And it was so disjointed. We couldn't even know what we were talking about because we kept getting kicked off Zoom and the Wi-Fi and all that stuff. So we've cleared the energy and now we good.
Yeah, you got the Wi-Fi extender.
I think so. Jeff said he was bringing it. I don't know if he actually plugged it in, but fingers crossed. Yeah, so and I've just been like super busy and as usual, I feel like I should just like press a button that says the three sentences I always say. I'm really busy and tired and I never have enough time. Here, I'm gonna click the button. Here. That's how I'm doing. And so, but because I'm put in my notice to go part-time and I'm going to be launching my own private practice soon and got approved for my PLLC. So I'm going to be working on getting my website uploaded and stuff later this week. And yeah, I'm excited to be part-time at work and then have my own business practice part-time. And then the goal is to be full-time, my own private practice. So doing that. And so, but it's interesting. I have been feeling sort of in this like podcast slump, with my own podcast, even our podcast. And, it's wintertime and things slow down. This is the time to rest. And I really resist that rest piece a lot because I'm like, no, I want to be doing. And so, anyways, I had this client yesterday. It was interesting. She, in her 50s, and she was talking about how she doesn't remember much of her childhood. And she said she doesn't want to remember.
That's
But
sad.
yeah, but yet here she is in her 50s in front of me on multiple medications for depression, anxiety, insomnia, and then has all of these medical issues. And so, even though she doesn't want to remember, her body remembers, because our brains aren't developed till we're 25. So, we store all that stuff in our bodies. And so, when we have anxiety that's coming up, in my experience, it's usually attached to a memory. So that actually exact thing happened to me last night. I have purposely tried to pull memories like with dad and stuff. Like, I had a friend tell me, every time she gets a massage, she always has memories come up. And I was like, huh? And then so I did that, this was before dad died. And I'm really glad I did that because I was purposely choosing to sort of heal some of those loose ends, because I know everything about my mom. Like we all know,
Right. Yeah.
falling in the
Yeah.
business, manipulative, sabotage, all that stuff. And you can easily say, well, your dad, he was a drunk and he used drugs. Yeah, but what's deeper in it? What was it that I needed? What was it that I lacked?
Right.
And so I was trying to, anyway, so, I got a massage, and pulled my first memory of him, was one of violence where he was threatening to blow my mother's brains out. And that was actually the freeze method of fight or flight is what I use. And I still use that. That's still my go-to. Is that was my first, I froze, what was I supposed to do? Anyways, so last night I was cleaning my kitchen and I've just been, I don't know if this ever happens to you, but I was just feeling this like uneasy, anxious feeling. And actually I've been feeling it all day long. And even yesterday morning, I was just like, what am I feeling anxious
It
about?
wasn't the tornadoes.
Well, yeah, there was the tornado part, but maybe that's right. It triggered something. The tornado triggered some anxiety, but I was like, what is this uneasy feeling that I'm having? And so, you know, I always tell people write it out and I'll forget or I'll resist it. I don't know why. I think I can just handle it in my head, but when you get it out on paper, it's different because
Yeah.
you get it out of your head and you can look at it in a different way. And so I was like, what is it that I'm feeling anxious about? And then I asked myself the question, what is the limiting belief I have right now that's keeping me from my soul's purpose? And I wrote that I'm a fuck up. And I was said, wow, Christine, what is your evidence that you're a fuck up? You've never been to jail. You've never committed a crime. And so, and what is a fuck up anyways? You have a job, you have a house, like why is that? And so later I realized that was what my mom would tell me about our dad my whole life, but what a fuck up he was. And I heard that time and time and time again.
Yeah.
And it was ingrained in my subconscious that I am a fuck up. That's what
Right.
she
Because you're like your dad.
correct. Right.
Yeah.
Right. He's half of me and she's half of me. So anyway, so
Right.
I was kind of like shifting through that. And then last night I was cleaning my kitchen and my hall light has been flickering a lot recently, Jessie. And like after dad died, my hall light was flickering a lot. But it was flickering and I was cleaning look at my hair. I was like, anyways, I was wiping my cabinet or wiping my counters and I look up and I don't know how this glass got there. Like, I have some of dad's like dishes and stuff and they're in boxes in a closet. I don't want to look at them. But there was a glass on the counter of his. I don't know where it came from, but it was the glass that he would drink beer out of.
Oh,
And
sweet.
it
Like one of
stopped.
those big tall ones.
Yes. And it stopped me in my tracks. And I had all of these memories just come flooding in about him and his drinking. And I was like, I don't have any memories of him sober. And not just drinking, Jessie, he always wanted to take it to the limit, like the maximum. Let's party. Like, yes, we're going to work from 8 to 5 because we're responsible and we're intelligent and we have good genes,
Right.
right? But when we get off work, we're going to get so fucked up every night that it was every encounter with him was like that.
Yeah, I think that's why I like to smoke weed.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm obviously not his fault that I still smoke weed, but
Why is it not his fault? Did he teach
oh
you
well,
any other different way to cope with stress? What was the other way he taught you how to cope with stress?
screaming.
Screaming, right? Okay, so we smoke weed, we scream. That's how we cope with stress. What else do we do?
Um, I guess that he never really taught me any. Like he didn't raise me. The TV raised me.
Right, right, right. Roseanne Barr raised you and Bill Cosby. That was your mom and your dad.
Yeah. Like when I think about ways coping mechanisms he gave me, yeah, it was definitely hit the bottle or go to the. And I feel like a lot of people are like that. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
uh, it's like it ingrained in our DNA, like
Yeah.
all of our DNA as human beings, just
Yeah.
go get fucked up and we have issues.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
And we
I
wonder why
mean,
people are driving so weird on the road.
Yeah, that's a different story. But the the basis of it, everything is like when it comes down to my choices, I mean, like my choices aren't necessarily his fault. You know what I mean? Because I was
Well,
still like, I'm an adult.
yeah. Well, the thing is that your beliefs are formed by the time you're 7 and your brain's not developed. And you have
Right.
these crazy ass people raising you, these two broken people. You had one, I had one and a half, I guess. But so like I have one person who has their own broken story, but one person who is drinking all the time, doing drugs, smoking cigarettes, rolling up the weed, all that stuff. So I have this person, and then I have this other person who is abusive, emotionally manipulative, severe personality disorder. And these two crazy ass people had had sex and created me, and were only married briefly, but hated each other so much and was always have me in between. And so dad taught me you cope with stress with alcohol, cigarettes, weed, pills, cocaine, whatever, right? You definitely show up at family events or events totally trashed. And so then my mom taught me you cope with stress by overeating and blowing money. Those were my choices. No one taught me anything different. And so you have these crazy ass people, your beliefs are formed from these crazy people at 7 years old, and day in and day out, it gets reinforced and reinforced and reinforced and reinforced. So the way they teach us how to cope with this craziness is just familiar to us, right?
Yeah.
It's just familiar. What else do we know? And so, anyways, I had to write down probably almost 14 memories of him drinking. Like he always had a cigarette hanging out of his mouth. He always, there was, I couldn't think of one time except right before he died, when he was going to have surgery on his hip, he had to stop drinking.
Oh, sorry.
And
Dog's
so
barking.
that was the only time.
Come on, guys. You're going crazy.
Yep. They can feel my dysregulated nervous system.
Well,
But,
they heard the car outside. They're like, oh.
oh, was it a motorcycle?
It was a car door, I think, but
Yeah. So, anyways, I had to just like get it out of my head all of these. And then I remembered the time where he would just laugh so loud and thought it was so hilarious, that he tricked me at 3 years old and giving me whiskey. And he thought it was so funny. He like laughed so hard with like drool coming out of his mouth, that he gave his, precious daughter alcohol, and I was just, made me really sad. I couldn't imagine like Sophia, her only memories of me with just having like a drink in my hand. That's just so sad. But, I was like, why would he think that's funny or okay? And then I took sort of a step back and I was like, okay, but there are pictures of him in a diaper where he has champagne in his hand. And so then I
yeah.
take a step back and then I look at our grandmother and growing up in the Depression and then take another step back. So, kind of back to the thing where people don't want to remember the bad memories. But the thing is, if you don't acknowledge it, it will fester in so many other ways. Like those memories that I had came flooding in last night. If I didn't sit down and write those things, I would have kept cleaning my kitchen and continue to like put up laundry and just feel this like severe like anxiety, you know what I mean? And not know
Hmm.
why, or maybe know
Yeah.
why and just keep pushing it.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. No, completely. I only get like really anxious when somebody is like screaming now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ironically enough.
Hmm. Yeah.
Then like but I already know why. And
Right. Right. And then it's like, what do we do with it? Right. And that's
well,
another.
you can't get rid of everybody that screams at you either because like people scream at people. Like that's sometimes that's how the world works. Like
Yeah.
you mess up at work, like that might be how your boss handles stress. Like they scream at you because you messed up something. Like you can't just be a boom,
Hmm.
like you can't. You have to move on and be like, man,
Yeah.
okay, like, and then you take the step back, like, okay, obviously they're upset because they have their own stressors in their own life, and but like it doesn't mean to hang out with negative people that are always
Right,
yelling
right,
at me, though.
right,
Like that's
right. And I
not
definitely
cool.
would be reporting my boss if my boss was screaming at me. Like I would be reporting, you know, that's not
Well, I mean,
appropriate.
it depends on. I guess it depends on the job, right? Like in
Yeah.
like in my side, in my kind of job, like you're gonna get screamed at. Like
Really?
there's
Like welding or something?
yeah, just in a man's industry, like when it's
Mm.
more like a man controlled
Yeah.
arena, like you're
Yeah.
gonna like that's just how men handle a lot
Yeah.
of things,
Yeah.
and
We need to
it's
change that. We need to change that.
I yeah,
Because
I mean, I look at them and I'm like, I typically when I get screamed at, I'm like, I kind of try to shut down, but then I remember again that like, what are they gonna do? Hit me? So
yeah,
I'm like, okay, well, if that's the case, then we're just gonna fight. Um, but
I was born
I
for this.
yeah, I've been working my whole life for this, but one of the things that I have to remember is that like typically these people are so unhappy with their own
Right.
like life,
Right.
and they feel like they're a fuck up. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So
Yeah.
like yeah, that would needs to change definitely. But men's anger has always testosterone. Can you imagine what it must
Mhm.
feel like to just walk around angry and horny all the time? It's
Hey,
probably so
that
hard.
I'm half of that, okay?
Like, but to me,
Maybe
like,
that's why I'm anxious. Just
like
kidding.
I'm just so angry, but my dick is so hard. Oh,
Oh yeah, and it's on the outside of my body and people can see it,
yeah.
you know.
But but like women, we're like, you know, yeah, we're emotional and horny.
Yeah, yeah.
We're like, why does anybody want to fuck me?
Oh my God, yeah.
Like,
You're
you know.
so funny. I'm glad I've never cried over that. This is definitely not something I've ever cried about.
There's some
Anyway,
bitches out there that are like, you got it, Jesse.
yeah, yeah, yeah. You're connecting with someone, it's just not me. There's somebody out there. But anyways, you know. But yeah, so yeah, because people yell because they, you know, there's multiple reasons, right? They're unhappy, but you know what's really underneath all that? Like, well, number one, I'm sure that's ingrained and that's what they were taught, that that's how you get people to listen, but people were not going to listen. They're like I was watching, I think it was a TikTok or something where like talking about parent styles and parents screaming at their kids and putting fear in them like as part as their parent as what am I trying to say as part of their parenting style. A lot of P's in there.
Mhm.
And how you're just motivating them through fear, and you know that doesn't do anything. And so, you know, yelling does not, you should only be yelling if there's an emergency or someone's in danger. And so when people are yelling, they feel like they're in danger. Their fight or flight is high alert, and
Yeah.
something has been triggered unconsciously. And because, you know, if people are screaming like it, well, you know, I'll have patients who are psychotic and things like that. Like, I'm going to get them some medicine. I'm going to get them some help. Like, you know, it doesn't even matter what they're screaming about. You know, when we get beyond a point where we're screaming, then no one's listening. Everything is shut down. This person's nervous system is off the charts, and they need some like medical intervention. But just the Joe Schmo on the street that's, you know, whatever, screaming or whatever, you know, that's their learned behavior, you know, high alert nervous system. So, you know,
Yeah. Yeah. And their parents taught them this, and their parents, you know, it's a whole cycle. Um, but you know what though? I got a chance to tell a stranger to fuck off today, and that felt really good.
did you tell me what happened?
So I came home yesterday and I like didn't put gas in the car. I forgot why. I just didn't get gas. And then so Michael, instead of taking his truck, he needed my car for something. And he was like, "Oh, you don't have enough gas. I'm gonna stop at the gas station." And then he didn't have his fucking wallet on him. He forgot his wallet. Well, actually, it was in the car, like in the middle. It was in the car's vagina, but he thought he left it at home.
You
It
said the
actually just got
car's
like
vagina?
Yeah, you know, like where the car seat and the like middle console meet, you
Yeah,
know, that's
we gotta hang out more often because I need to know these terms. Like I've never called it the car's vagina.
yeah, it's the car's vagina. And
That's amazing.
so my car's vagina ate his wallet. You know, like fucking A, like the vagina does. And so he's at home. And so I get into the car to meet up with my friend Megan today for lunch. And I'm like praying to God. I'm like, because like I literally don't have like miles left. It says dash dash dash. Like I'm out of fucking gas. And I'm like praying to God. I'm like, please, God, just let me like get through all the stop signs and all the red lights easily. And I did it. And then I get to the gas station and I'm like, please let there be a gas pump like readily available. Because I didn't have time to wait for no bitch. And so this girl was like trying to pull in, no, she was backing into the gas pump. Okay. Mind you, there's an open one that is like she could just pull into and be on her side, right? But no, she has to like take her time and try to back in. And I said, not today. Jesus, take the wheel. And Jesus took the wheel. And homie, he took me straight in front of that bitch and said,
Uh-huh.
up in my car. Like, I don't even remember like driving. I literally think Jesus just had my back because he was like, you're anxious. Yeah, like it was great. Because I literally like I don't remember doing this at all. Like my body just took over and did it. I jumped in front of this bitch that's trying to back into the gas pump. She rolls down her window and she's like, "You're so rude." Da, 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 da. And I was like, "Learn how to drive better." And she was like, "You, that's fucked up. You have no idea what you're talking about." And I was like, "You're the one that's trying to get back into a gas pump. You can just like pull into that one right there." And I said something else and she was like, da, 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 and I was like, okay, fuck off, go away. And she just fucked off and went away. And I was like, oh, yay, thank you, Jesus, for letting me tell a stranger to fuck off.
Oh man, you were standing up for yourself, I suppose.
I was just ready. I was like, because I've had okay, it's December. I live with somebody that has winter depression, like
Mhm.
crazy winter depression. I can put a fucking stopwatch to the when it starts and when it stops.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and he's right in the middle of it. So I've been putting up with this depressed person with ADHD for like 2 weeks now, and I'm over it already. I'm
Yeah.
like, is it
Yeah.
this summer yet? Is it fucking spring? God damn it!
Yeah.
Fuck. So, um, anyway, I was just done. I was like, I was ready. I was like, I'll go to jail. Fuck it.
Yeah.
Beat this
Yeah.
bitch's ass real quick. But she went away, and I was like, thank God I didn't have to do anything. And
Mm-hmm.
also, I have not had to been like I haven't had to fight. Like I haven't sparred. Like I've done drills and stuff at the gym, but I haven't actually like fought since I broke my leg. So I have no idea.
Yeah.
She could probably just push me, and I'd be like,
Yeah, right, right. You like in your mind, like the Jesus was taking the wheel,
badass.
and in your mind, the Jesus was taking the wheel. In your mind, you'll be fighting really good, but really, she's kicking your ass.
Yeah, because Jesus can't control my body, unfortunately. When I'm
He can't.
actually fight. Well, not when I'm fight. I feel like he took over when I was like driving in front of that bitch, though.
Yeah,
I feel like
yeah,
that was all him.
yeah.
He was like,
And then Satan showed up.
and then Satan.
Yeah, but and who knows why she was backing in like that? I have no idea. Like,
Who the fuck?
whatever.
Like, I'm just like, it doesn't make it easier for anybody. Like,
Yeah.
and this particular gas station is always full because it's right next to an Amazon warehouse.
Mm-hmm.
So all the Amazon trucks are always there. Like, it, there was a truck waiting to get gas, and
Mm-hmm.
she's all like backing up, like we don't have time for that, bitch.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think that was like the universe had my back though, because and I thanked the universe the whole way. I was like, thank you,
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you and fuck off.
thank you for letting me say fuck off to a stranger.
Yeah. 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 That's so interesting. You and gas stations and Walgreens and Costco's, like they are very bad mix when you're having panic and anxiety, and you're in there and you're needing help and rescue. Like that is just a bad mix. Like, it's like everybody's childhood just shows up at those places.
For sure. Yeah. I think she got hit a few times, so that's why she shut the fuck up and went away.
Maybe you reminded her of her father.
That hit her.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
No, I mean, the only people that usually shut up and walk away are the people that have gotten their ass kicked.
Yeah.
Typically,
Yeah.
the people that need their ass kicked keep talking shit, and that's
You're so
so.
funny.
So clearly, she was good. She just was like, "All right,
Yeah,
you're a crazy
you have a
bitch."
safe and Merry Christmas.
Yeah, like, but because I said it like with assertiveness too, like my
Yeah.
like that daddy voice,
Yeah.
came out,
Yeah.
and I was like, and I was calm. Usually when I'm upset, I get that
Ooh.
like anxious, high pitched.
Yeah.
You know what
Yes.
I'm saying?
Yes.
But this time I was like legit calm. Like I was like,
Oh,
fuck
you were
off.
a
And
calm fuck off.
yeah,
Okay,
and
that's
like when people are
scary.
calm, that's scary. Yeah, you're like, they have nothing to lose.
Yeah, because they have surrendered. They have surrendered. They,
Yeah.
you know. Oh, that's just crazy. Yeah.
Don't fuck with the person with cauliflower ear or that is just way too calm. They probably also have a gun.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. That's not the world I live in, but
I don't have a gun in my car. I'm too scared I'd use it.
yeah.
I'd
Yeah.
be
I don't
like,
know.
what'd you
I'm
say?
so no, but no, see, that's not me. I'm so clumsy. I'm scared I would trip over it and shoot myself in the ass, like cleaning, and I would get nervous and drop it and it would spin around and shoot myself in the ass. That's why I don't have a gun.
So Brian from welding class, he was like at the airport and he left his gun in his car and he was like trying to unload it and everything. And he thought it was completely unloaded and he accidentally like pushed the trigger and a bullet went through his seat. So he like shot a gun at the airport, like in the
At
parking
the
garage.
airport?
Yeah, at the airport, in the parking garage, and he's like, "Get the fuck out of here!"
That's federal, man. That is federal crime. Jesus. What did he do?
He just made sure he didn't have any like damage to his undercarriage, and
Did
he
anybody
fucking
police or
deuced
anybody
out.
come?
He said he got out clean. I was like, a camera definitely saw you do that, or like the
Yeah.
security guards on the camera like are laughing
Yeah.
still to
Yeah.
this day.
I know a friend of mine, her husband's a police officer, and he's always, wherever we go out, like when he's not on duty, but he's carrying his gun. And one time we were at a casino and it fell on and it like slid across the floor. Yeah. It was pretty funny. Because he's had a
Well,
lots of,
there you go.
yeah, because he actually has shot himself in the ass with his own gun.
I
Yep.
remember that.
Yep.
That's hilarious.
Yep.
Yeah, that's that. What a silly way to shoot yourself.
I know. But see, that's why I don't, because I'm clumsy
You're
and
like, I will be the person that shoots myself in the ass.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, or in the right titty or something, like
something
just
very vital.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, I don't, yeah, that yeah. Well, I love you, baby girl. I'm so glad we finally got this episode. We got through it. There's no issues, no beefy issues. And I'm so happy you're my sister. I'm so happy you've never told me to fuck off. I appreciate that. Or yelled at me, really. I don't ever recall you ever yelling at me. Maybe you have. Maybe I've blocked that memory and I don't want to remember. But
I never really had to. I never had to yell. I never yelled at you. I think we've had like a few like things, but
words.
it's always been like in an angry, calm way. Like because
Yeah.
like we both like I don't know. I
Yeah.
know that you're not going to understand me if I'm high pitched and loud anyway. So
Yeah, because I'll go into freeze mode and I'll be back at that, 3, 4 years old, standing in our dad's living room and him threatening to
yeah,
blow my mother's. I was
because I
just,
think you always told me to like just calm like I'll listen, but I can't understand you. I think that's like pretty much
oh
like
yeah, because I can't hear either. And so it's like, huh? And it just starts sounding, and not just you, because
like my
Sophia,
octave got
yeah,
high.
it's
Yeah,
an octave. And it's just, I can't hear, I can't comprehend.
yeah, right, exactly. So that's why I feel like I've never like yelled at you, but we've had obviously arguments because we're sisters. Like, but I think because we're like 13 years apart, 12,
Yeah.
13 years apart, right?
Yeah.
Like we haven't had to like we didn't have to share much growing
Yeah.
up.
Yeah.
Other than
Right.
like when you lived in Golden, like
Hmm.
we had to share a bedroom.
Yeah. And that was actually pretty fun for me. We shared clothes and all that stuff. That
Yeah,
was fun.
like yeah, it was like just a cute little moment for
Yeah.
me too because I had another female in the house. But when I think like for us, we also are kind of introspective.
Yeah.
So usually like when we have issues with other people, like either it be a sibling or somebody that we, our friend, we kind of like look at it introspectively, and then
Yeah.
if we feel like we have to say something, then we will. But if we work through it like ourselves, and we don't really have to say anything, like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because like, what's the point of bringing up old shit?
Right. Well, I also know that I feel safe with you. If you did yell at me or I did yell at you or feelings were hurt, I know that we'll be okay. Like that's not like,
Right.
that we're never going to talk again, and I feel safe with you. I didn't feel safe with dad, that's for sure, or my mother for damn sure. But well, I mean, I want to say with dad, like I could tell him things how I felt, but I knew I would never get that fatherly, smooth, calm, peaceful, gentle voice, reassuring. I would not really get that.
Yeah, that's not him.
It's constantly disappointing. So, but at least I could get his opinion, and I knew what he was telling me like wasn't bullshit, like with my mom.
Right. Yeah. You should watch this Unorthodox Life.
Yeah, I need to know how to dress. It sounds awesome.
Well, also, like, I feel like the mom, the Julie Hart character, kind of a narcissist.
Not
I
a
mean, she's,
part.
but I mean, like, not full blown. Like, she just has like these tendencies and
Mm,
for her, with her children and her
mm,
friends, like her close friends and her children. She expects them to be different people than they are. She expects them to,
mm,
like, I don't know, be in her battle, like be in the battle with her when they don't want to be in a battle with her. Like
yeah,
like she's like, I'm the warrior and I don't mind standing up for everybody, but like I just need my hand held sometimes. And I'm like, that's not a warrior. That's somebody that needs their hand held.
yeah, yeah,
Like you literally just said that you need your hand held
yeah.
because you're going through all this shit. Like she's going through a really rough divorce.
Mm,
And her and her billionaire husband or whatever millionaire husband owned a company together, and he fired her from the company. And so basically she's stuck in the fight mode, fight or flight. She's stuck in fight, but she doesn't, she's so naive because she came from this Orthodox Jewish community
mm,
where she doesn't, she didn't see this coming.
yeah,
Like it's so like I'm not gonna ruin the show for anybody, but like she just didn't see it coming, and the whole time I'm like, are you this fucking stupid? Like, how can you be worth this much money and be so fucking naive?
yeah,
Like, the minute somebody's like telling me that things are going to be an easy divorce, that's when I go hire the biggest, baddest attorney.
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
like,
yeah.
they're obviously fucking lying. Like,
Right.
there's no such thing as an easy fucking divorce. Even
Well,
like, even like a year later, right? Like, there's some drama, even if like it's
right.
not financial drama or what. There's always some kind of stupid bullshit that boils back up to the fucking top because you're married to the motherfucker. Like, it's when they say simple divorce, I'm like, that's an oxy fucking moron.
Mm-hmm. Right, right, right,
Like
right.
you, like for you, like it was okay right at first, and then Shane wanted to become like this kind of like, well, you can say a lot, like
Yeah, yeah,
or whatever.
yeah,
He wanted, like, he was on this power trip that he felt like he needed to like tell you, well, this is good. I'm glad you're doing this, but this could change,
yeah,
like
yeah.
Michael does
Right.
that shit, and I'm like, fuck off,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
if you don't like me, then leave. Go
Right.
away.
And I know now that a lot of that was, like you said, coming from being super unhappy because now because he was living in an apartment and he didn't have a room for his child, and now he has a house and he's totally nice again. So yeah, it's definitely something inside.
That's his own damn issues, but he's too grown up man to be, putting his shit on you.
Yeah, yeah,
Like, and then also to be like possibly judging other people for how they act.
yeah, yeah.
Like, who the fuck are you? Like,
Well, I definitely judged him as well. And so, usually
oh,
if
I judge
there's
people all the
right, I'm judging you right now, Jesse.
time, right? Like, I'm judging me.
I'm judging you right now.
Like, but that's the thing. Like, we don't like judgmental people, but we're judging the judgmental people.
Right, 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 right. So it's just an endless cycle of shit. So
Yeah, just stop talking about people.
Yeah. Yeah.
But whatever, Shane.
All right, girl. I love you. I'm so happy we got through this recording with no tech issues.
High five.
High five. Nailed it.
Nailed it. Woo.
Okay. Bye, honey.
Bye.